Jumamosi saa 3 kamili usiku katika kituo chako bora cha ITV Superbrand Afrika Mashariki.
Lete video ya sherehe yako iliyohaririwa kwa ubora wa picha na sauti inayoanzia dakika 5 kwa gharama ya shilingi 350,000. Kwa maelezo zaidi wasiliana na idara ya masoko ITV.
In Capital News tonight, security organs vehicles to transport documents from Bear District Council's office. Residents in Bunju, Kilungule face outbreak of waterborne disease threat. And in sports, Romanian Aristarika Xiab has been announced as Azam FC's new coach. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's start things off with the national news. The Regional Commissioner of Mbeya, Albert Chalamila, has directed vehicles belonging to defense and security organs be used in transporting government documents in the operation to move Mbeya District Council office from the city centre to elsewhere within the borders of the municipality within 24 hours. The directive was given by the Regional Commissioner during an emergency councillors meeting being implemented at the President's directive for all municipalities to move to their administration areas.
Could you be the municipal council which is going against Honorable President's directive? And if this is the case, in the presence of the regional commissioner, how am I supposed to take this? Today after this meeting, you must leave with the police, prison service and army vehicles. The vehicles are ready. I recommend Santeria Ward. The infrastructure is good and there is water and electricity. I suggest Tembela because there are a lot of buildings and it is easy to reach, especially for expectant mothers. In 2010, I was appointed the councillor for the first time and this is my second term. So I know a lot of what has been taking place and we thought of moving from 2012.
The ongoing rains in Dar es Salaam have caused more than 70 households in Bunju Kilungule area to live without toilets after their houses became flooded with water. Leaders of the area have said that measures are being taken to prevent an outbreak of waterborne diseases.
Hali hapa ni tete.
Things are not good. I've been living here since 1984. There was no flooding. So I decided to buy land here because I didn't have any. There used to be cashew trees. This area was not a swamp. But because of poor infrastructure, we are here. This is the 5th year we've had stagnant water, but when the road was raised, a lot of water flows into our area. This is difficult. We go through so much trouble just to go to the bathroom.
And Vice President Samir Suluhu Hassan has called on the Asian African Legal Consultative Organization to strengthen cooperation in implementing international laws on trade, investment and security in Africa and Asia. The Vice President gave the directive in Dar es Salaam when opening the Asian African Legal Consultative Organization Conference.
As we strive to achieve our goals and our interests be achieved at the international level, we need to stand more together and consolidate our solidarity through regular consultations. Over the years, the United Republic of Tanzania has always been committed to supporting the work of ALCO in upholding the development of international law. We have always lived in peace with our neighbors, and we have played a great role in steering and championing for peace in the Great Lakes region. Having learned from the experience of several Asian countries, the Bunju spirit and the non-aligned movement.
We are faced with challenges relating to boundary issues, succession to treaty, treatment of foreigners and their properties. In the 1970s, the role of ALCO became more evident through the contribution in the codification of international law, and as a result, it became internationally recognized as a worthwhile contribution to the international legal system and the international legal regimes. Since its establishment in 1956, ALCO has achieved many successes in upholding fundamental norms of international law, from the laws governing diplomatic relations, environmental legal regime.
In 2018, it is estimated that at least 10 million people around the world are stateless. African continent alone hosts over 14 million internally displaced persons. And in 2019, it is estimated that 70 million people have been forcibly displaced. There is also a backlash to the advance of globalizations and multilateralism as a result of protectionist and inward-looking tendency which is on the rise. The international order based on fundamental values such as freedom, democracy, human rights, and rule of law, which have underpinned the peace and the prosperity of the world, is being challenged. There is also disagreement on the balance, if any, between the economic rights and civil and political rights.
And Kisutu Resident Magistrate Court in Dar es Salaam has issued 2 weeks instead of 3 to 9 leaders of opposition Chadema party to prepare for their defense in the incitement case against them. The decision was made by Principal Resident Magistrate Thomas Simba following a request by the defendant's advocate Peter Kibatala on October 18th, asking for 3 weeks to prepare for their defense as they have more than 200 witnesses. He said hearing of the case will start on the 4th of November for 3 consecutive days, after which set dates will be prepared. In another development, investigations on a case facing businessman Hamis Said, who's accused of killing his wife Naomi Marijani and then burning her body into cinders, has been completed. State Advocate Simon Wankio said the investigation report is being typed, after which it will be sent to the High Court of Tanzania. Some residents in Dar es Salaam have said that among factors that have made many fail to be tax compliant is due to many of the taxes being too old and that the tax system was not very friendly.
People want to pay tax, very much so. What is the problem here is one has to hustle so much to get the money to pay tax. You could be owing 100,000 in taxes, but your income is less. It is not that people don't want to pay tax. The issue is the amount of tax one is supposed to pay, compared to how much one earns. What they need to do is ask for a reasonable amount.
The police force in Gator region has called on religious leaders to work closely with communities in addressing the problem of killings caused by superstitious beliefs, which are becoming a threat to stability in the region. The call was made by Gator Police Commander Mponjoli Lotson during a meeting with religious leaders, government executives and residents from the region.
There is a lot of crime in Gator, but more so is the disturbance of peace, which, if not checked, will not allow anyone to carry on with any economic activity.
Wanakwenda
Some go to witch doctors who lie to them that if you want to succeed, then bring human blood or an infant body part. This has led to the increase in the number of killings. If anyone depended on God, then such killings will not happen. A lot of the killings occur because people have forsaken God.
Farmers in Southern Highland regions have called on the government to oversee distribution of agricultural inputs, as there are some unscrupulous business people who have been hiding fertilizer in order to increase prices.
A lot of times it is on pricing when there is more supply. Then the price goes down. Some hide fertilizer in stock, so when the time is right, they hike the prices. It hurts the farmer, and there is no one to fight for the farmer's right. No retailer is allowed to hide fertilizer, and anyone found to be doing so, legal measures will be taken against him and his license revoked. Farmers have no need to be concerned because there is fertilizer available in all regions.
Permanent secretaries responsible for environment, natural resources and tourism from Southern Africa Development Community SADC countries are meeting in Arusha to prepare agendas and recommendations to be presented during the SADC ministers meeting to be held on the 25th of October this year.
Some of the things we'll be discussing here is on how to address terrorism, so we can exchange ideas and learn from each other so that we can work together. It is very hard to fight terrorism as an individual country. We are planning to persuade member states to protect the environment for sustainable development, given that there is a lot of shared resources such as Lake Tanganyika and the Zambezi River. So there is need to sit together and discuss on how we can work together. In addition, we will also be discussing on matters concerning climate change.
Held to look into the environmental strategies that have been designed to see the progress. There are some progress in some strategies, but also we have some challenges in other strategies. Look into the progress in terms of the forest resources, the different strategies that we have, but also in terms of tourism and on wildlife. And specifically to wildlife, I think the SADC region wants to be more coherent so that they better defend their interests in relation to the world and defend the interests of their communities from this region.
And that's all for national news. International news is up next. And in international news, the government of Kenya has started to distribute aid to thousands of people who have become homeless following floods which have led to the death of more than 20 people. Heavy rain has continued to fall in many parts of Kenya, particularly in Garissa, Turkana, Wajir and Marsabit counties, causing many residents to abandon their homes.
And we are happy that today the program we had arranged with the support of the Kenya Police, we will be able to do the other remaining villages, including Bori and Dabel, so that we reach all the families that have been affected by these floods, and also look at what support we can give to neighboring counties. Wajir is equally affected. Mandera, we were with Governor Ali Roba yesterday morning, and the briefing we received from Mandera, it is equally affected, all the way up to Garissa and down to Tana River.
Sisi tuweze kufanyiwa mambo ya emergency.
We need emergency aid because a lot of our property has been damaged. The government shouldn't wait until all these things have happened to do something.
Wanyama wameenda hata kuokoa watu, hakuna mahali ya kuokoa watu mahali hapa hivi.
The government of Uganda, through Kampala Municipal Council, has announced construction of a road which will facilitate transportation of cargo from the port of Mombasa in Kenya to Rwanda, Burundi, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Construction of the road is expected to start on the 28th of October this year. This flyover project is definitely going to affect transport activities in Kampala. We are now in the process of coming up with other strategies to avoid traffic queues. Nationals of Burundi have commemorated the 26th anniversary of the death of the first democratically elected President Melchior Ndadaye, who was killed in a military coup on October 21st in 1993 that led to internal conflict. Ndadaye was not killed by officers of low rank. They were sent. He was attacked. It does not make sense, and that is why the case must be heard and the person involved brought before the court so that the truth can be determined. France has said it will support the government of the Democratic Republic of Congo in strengthening security in the eastern part of the country due to increasing incidents of killings. France is ready to help Congo restore peace, and soon we will convince the UN to extend the MONUSCO forces time so that it can help in the search for rebels, especially those in ADF. That's where we leave off with international news. We'll be back with business news after this break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
To be rich, I have to be a business person.
It's not an easy road at all.
People need to understand.
You must quickly think, how cost effective are you going to be?
Business acts as a way in which it can bridge that gap.
Business Edition will keep you informed on latest developments in the financial sector, extractive industry, tourism, agriculture, energy, construction, and so much more. Meet entrepreneurs who create employment opportunities. Watch Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and let's move on to business news. Zanzibar has been appointed the chair of the East Africa Business, Industries and Agriculture Chamber. The Minister of Trade and Industry from Zanzibar, Ambassador Amina Salum Ali, has called on the business community in the Isles to use the opportunity to look for markets in member countries of the East African community. You need to prepare so that we can give you additional strength by helping you expedite some of those permits so that they can have your businesses up and running.
Anakwenda mtu kupeleka biashara yake awe amepata support na kile kimekuwa clear.
Tuna changamoto kubwa mno.
We have a very big challenge going through the mainland. The authorities say that a container cannot be destaffed in Mombasa, come to Pemba or Unguja. It must go there. But a container can be destaffed in Mombasa, placed in a car, go through Tanzania all the way to Uganda with no problem. For Zanzibar, a ship needs to come here to get the cargo. The Tanzania Cashew Nut Board Tanga branch has directed farmers to reveal unscrupulous business people who use illegal procedures to buy their cashew nut so that legal action can be taken against them. You are the ones who know these unscrupulous people. We are at the headquarters. How will we be aware? You can cooperate. When you see such a person, you have our numbers. Your leaders have our numbers as well. Report them and we will come.
Lakini cha ajabu ni kwamba hatuna korosho kama zile za zamani.
We do not have the same cashew nuts like we had in the past. And this is due to our own laziness. Some farmers have cashew nut trees that are old and need replacing, but they do not do so.
Tegemeo letu kupata faida.
Our cooperative union delays sale, and even after sale, they delay payment. Tanzania Trade Development Authority, TanTrade, has said that it has put in place a special system that will oversee border trade so as to ensure traders do not face obstacles.
Baadhi ya wafanyabiashara wamekuwa wanalalamika kwamba kumekuwa kuna urasimu ambao sio lazima.
Some entrepreneurs have been complaining that there has been unnecessary bureaucracy which causes products to sit at the border for a long time. Under the directives of the Minister of Industry and Trade, we are thankful that now we have a system where we can monitor all the borders, and TanTrade has been given the mandates to coordinate this.
Ni kuhakikisha kwamba taarifa zinakusanywa.
It is important to ensure all information on relevant procedures is collected, ensuring that they are set properly for import and export of goods. That's where we leave off with business news. Sports news is next.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's going to be dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's going to be dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Opposition, Joaquinho, he did lose and then.
And in sports, Romanian Aristarica Siab has been announced as the new Azam FC coach, taking charge after the club terminated current Stars coach Etienne Ndairagije's contract.
Yes, I have experience from the Football Africa. About before I am coaching in Ghana 2 times. One time I win the league, one time I am the coach. Before I am coach here in the Tanzania, I know I stay here one season. I know all the team. Now from my team, I know all the player. Only maybe 5 or 6 players is the new good player. I understand. I see.
The Vodacom Premier League defending champions have proceeded with training ahead of their match against Azam tomorrow, with their coach Patrick Osems saying despite having friendlies on rough pitches, they are well prepared.
Morogoro in Kigoma, it's not football pitch. It's not football pitch, so we cannot play football on this kind of pitch. We kick the ball, we fight with high balls, but we cannot play football. So the only good pitch is the National Stadium here, is this artificial one here.
Jurgen Klopp rallied at the VAR outcome over a clear foul in the build-up to Marcus Rashford's goal as Liverpool surrendered their 100% record in a 1-1 draw at Manchester United on Sunday. Here's more on this story.
Result cut Liverpool's lead over Manchester City at the top of the Premier League to 6 points.
The draw prevented club's side from matching City's record of 18 successive league wins and providing a welcome confidence boost for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's side after a testing start to the season. Klopp was left complaining about Martin Atkinson's decision not to award a foul on Divock Origi by the defender Victor Lindelof just before Rashford gave United the lead in the 36th minute. The VAR official David Coote, who saw his decision to award a goal for Aston Villa's Conor Hourihane against Brighton overturned by VAR the previous day, decided no foul had been committed.
Zinedine Zidane is entering must-win territory at Real Madrid with goal learning that the French man has lost the trust of certain board members amid talks of a return to the Santiago Bernabeu for Jose Mourinho.
An iconic figure in the Spanish capital accepted an SOS call from the Blancos in March, with the decision taken to take the reins for a second time just a matter of months after bringing an initial spell as head coach to a close. Zidane delivered La Liga title success and a hat-trick of Champions League crowns during a dream start to his managerial career, but replicating those triumphs is proving difficult. A 7-3 defeat to arch-rivals Atletico Madrid over the summer and a 3-0 reversal to fellow European heavyweights Paris Saint-Germain in the current campaign have seen questions asked of the man in the dugout. A further setback at Mallorca on Saturday, which saw Real knocked from the La Liga summit by Clásico foes Barcelona, has intensified the pressure on Zidane and tarnished his image further in the eyes of some of those calling the shots at the Bernabeu.
Pep Guardiola has claimed Manchester City are still not ready to win the Champions League because they are not clinical enough in front of goals. Here is more on this.
The champions scored twice in 90 first-half seconds to seal victory at Crystal Palace, with Gabriel Jesus recording his 50th goal for the club. The 22-year-old has scored in all 3 league matches he has started this season, yet Guardiola singled out the striker, who was preferred to Sergio Aguero after impressing City's manager in the 2 matches for Brazil during the international break for failing to convert a series of chances in the second half. In particular, Guardiola referred to an opportunity in the dying stages when Jesus opted to shoot rather than set up an easy chance for Kevin De Bruyne, and insisted that could have come back to haunt City had it not been for earlier saves from Ederson to deny Christian Benteke and Wilfred Zaha.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. On behalf of everyone who worked to prepare this bulletin for you, my name is Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching and have a good night.
It's Culinary Delights every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. only on Capital Television.
Karibu katika kipima joto mtazamaji wa ITV na msikilizaji wa Radio 1 na Capital Radio. Ijumaa ya leo tukiwa hapa na kipindi hiki kama ilivyo kawaida tunajadili masuala mbalimbali, yale ambayo yanatokea katika taarifa zetu za habari, lakini pia yale ambayo yanakuwa pengine ni gumzo ama yale ambayo yanatarajia kutokea. Katika kipindi cha leo mtazamaji na msikilizaji tunajadili kuhusiana na mkakati wa kurekebisha sheria na taratibu zinazokwamisha uwekezaji na biashara. Je, ni mwarobaini wa tatizo la urasimu? Mkakati wa kurekebisha sheria na taratibu zinazokwamisha uwekezaji na biashara. Je, ni mwarobaini wa tatizo la urasimu? Mimi naitwa Juliet Robert. Kujadili pamoja nami swala hili hapa studioni ninao wageni. Ninaye Alex Mnyani ambaye yeye ni afisa mwandamizi wa sheria kutoka Kituo cha Uwekezaji Tanzania TIC. Karibu sana bwana Mnyani. Lakini vile vile ninaye hapa bwana Zaki Mbena ambaye ni mkurugenzi wa huduma za wanachama na masuala ya uragibishi kutoka taasisi ya sekta binafsi Tanzania TPSF. Karibu sana bwana Zaki.
Nashukuru sana.
Nikukaribishe sana mtazamaji, tuwe sote mwanzo mpaka mwisho wa kipindi hiki, kwani yale tutakayojadili bila shaka kwa namna moja ama nyingine yanakwenda kukujenga katika kama wewe ni mfanyabiashara, lakini vile kama ni Mtanzania ambaye unafanya shughuli zako mbalimbali. Kama ambavyo tunafahamu azma ya serikali ya awamu ya 5 ni kwenda kwenye nchi ya viwanda ambayo inahusisha basi uwekezaji wa wazawa, lakini vile vile wale wanaotoka nje ya nchi, na serikali imekuwa ikifanya jitihada mbalimbali katika kuhakikisha kwamba inaondoa vikwazo ambavyo vimekuwa vikiwakwaza ama vikiwafanya wafanyabiashara na wawekezaji kushindwa kuwekeza ipasavyo. Wengine wanaamua kuacha biashara, wanaenda kuwekeza kwenye mataifa mengine. Kwa hiyo kumekuwa na mambo mbalimbali ambayo yanafanywa, mikakati mbalimbali, uanzishwaji wa mipango mbalimbali. Lengo ni kuhakikisha tu basi uwekezaji na biashara, sekta hiyo inakuwa hapa nchini na kusaidia maendeleo ya nchi kwa ujumla na Mtanzania mmoja mmoja. Sasa hivi unaweza kaendelea kwa kuandika